the performance of the Sierra supercomputer in 2018. The Sierra supercomputer has 18,000 GPUs, Volta GPUs. This one node here replaces that entire supercomputer. 4,000 times increase in performance in 6 years. That is extreme Moore's law. Remember, I've said before that AI, NVIDIA has been scaling computing by about 1 million times every 10 years. And we're still on that track. But the way to do that is not just to make the chips faster. There's only a limit to how fast you can make chips and how big you can make chips. In the case of Blackwell, we even connected 2 chips together to make it possible. TSMC worked with us to invent a new CoWoS process called CoWoS-L that made it possible for us to create these giant chips. But still, we want chips way bigger than that. And so we had to create what is called NVLink. This is the world's fastest switch. This NVLink here, right here, is 7.2 terabytes per second. 9 of these go into that rack. And those 9 switches are connected by this miracle. This is quite heavy. That's because I'm quite strong. I made it look so light, but this is 70 pounds. And so this is the NVLink spine. 2 miles of cables, 5,000 cables structured, all coaxed, impedance matched, and it connects all 72 GPUs to all of the other 72 GPUs across this network called NVLink switch. 130 terabytes per second of bandwidth across the NVLink spine. So just put in perspective, the peak traffic of the entire internet, is 900 terabits per second. Divide that by 8. This moves more traffic than the entire internet. 1 NVLink spine across this 9 of these NVLink switches, so that every single GPU can talk to every other GPU at exactly the same time. This is the miracle of GB200. And because there's a limit to how far you can drive SerDes, this is as far as any SerDes has ever driven. From chip, this goes chip to the switch, out to the spine, to any other switch, any other chip. All electrical. And so that limit caused us to put everything in one rack. And that one rack is 120 kilowatts, which is the reason why everything has to be liquid cooled. We now have the ability to disaggregate the GPUs out of one motherboard, essentially, across an entire rack. And so that entire rack is one motherboard. That's the miracle. Completely disaggregated. And now the GPU performance is incredible, the amount of memory is incredible, the networking bandwidth is incredible, and now we can really scale these out. Once we scale it up, then we can scale it out into large systems. And notice almost everything NVIDIA builds are gigantic. And the reason for that is because we're not building data centers and servers, we're building AI factories. This is CoreWeave, this is Oracle Cloud. The power density of each rack is so great. They have to put them further apart so that the power density could be distributed. But really, in the end, we're not building data centers, we're building AI factories. And this is the XAI, Colossus factory. This is Stargate. 4 million square feet, 1 gigawatt. And so just think about this factory here. This 1 gigawatt factory is probably going to be about 60 to 80 billion dollars. Out of that 60 to 80 billion dollars, the electronics, the computing part of it, these systems are 40, 50 billion dollars of it. And so these are gigantic factory investments. The reason why people build factories is because you know the answer. The more you buy, say it with me. The more you buy, the more you make. That's what factories do. Okay. The technology is so complicated. And in fact, just looking at it here, you still cannot get the deep appreciation of the amazing work that's being done in all of our partners and all of the companies here in the audience in Taiwan. And so we made you a movie. I made you a movie. Take a look.
Blackwell is an engineering marvel. It begins as a blank silicon wafer at TSM. We couldn't be prouder of what we've achieved together. Thank you, Taiwan.
Thank you. Thank you. That was pretty incredible, right? But that was you. That was you. Thank you. Well, Taiwan doesn't just build supercomputers for the world. Today, I'm very happy to announce that we're also building AI for Taiwan. And so today we're announcing that Foxconn, Taiwan, the Taiwanese government, NVIDIA, TSMC, we're going to build the first giant AI supercomputer here for the AI infrastructure and the AI ecosystem of Taiwan. Thank you. Is there anybody who needs an AI computer? Any AI researchers in the audience? Every single student, every researcher, every scientist, every startup, every large established company, TSMC themselves does enormous amounts of AI and scientific research already. And so Foxconn does an enormous amount of work in robotics. I know that there are many other companies in the audience, I'm going to mention you in just a second, that are doing robotics research and AI research. And so having a world-class AI infrastructure here in Taiwan is really important. All of that is so that we could build a very large chip. And NVLink and Blackwell, this generation, made it possible for us to create these incredible systems. Here's one from Pegatron and QCT and Wistron and WeWin. This is from Foxconn and Gigabyte and ASUS. And you can see the front and the back of it. And its entire goal is to take these Blackwell chips that are you could see how big they are, and turn it into one massive chip. Now, the ability to do that, of course, was made possible by NVLink. But it understates the complexity of the system architecture, the rich software ecosystem that connects it all together, the entire ecosystem of 150 companies that came together to build this. This architecture and the entire ecosystem in technology, in software, in industry has been the work of 3 years. This is a massive industrial investment. And now, we would like to make it possible for anybody who wants to build data centers. It could be a whole bunch of NVIDIA GB200s or 300s and accelerated computing systems from NVIDIA.